a great pleasure to welcome to our eminent speaker, Mrs. Pooja Molikar. She is the examiner of Patent and Design, RG and IIPM, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. She is the faculty for various intellectual property training at RG and IIPM. She attended various judicial, national, and international training programs regarding IPR practices. Previously, she is a faculty at the Department of Biotechnology, Manad Bhopal, and Department of Food Tech, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. We, wel- we welcome you, ma'am, on this expert talk on intellectual property rights, IPR, patents, and design process. Now, I request Pooja Malukar, ma'am, to start the session. Please, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to be a part of this webinar. I'm delighted to be a part of this webinar wherein you are taking initiative towards learning the basics of intellectual property rights. So with the permission of all the dignitaries, faculties, and all the students and participants present over here, I would like to begin with the presentation. In case I'm not audible or in case I'm not visible, I mean the presentation is not visible, you may stop me then and there. Otherwise, I would request all the participants to please mute themselves throughout the training so that we can understand the concept first and then we'll take over all the question answers. Um, I hope my presentation is visible to all. So I welcome you all to the Intellectual Property Rights webinar where our focus is more on patents and designs processes. As already introduced by the coordinator Deepa ma'am, I'm Pooja Maulikar. I am working as an examiner of patents and designs at Rajiv Gandhi National Institute of Intellectual Property Management, which is situated at Nagpur. In case you want to get associated with us in respect of any of the trainings being done by us, you may write to at rgniipm.ipo@nic.in. Apart from this, I would also like to tell you that we are available at the official website ipindia.gov.in, wherein you find most of the information related to IP office here itself. Now, since we have gathered here to understand the basic concept, I would like to clarify that all the IPs are based on acts and rules for its proper functioning and regulations. So these acts and rules are to be referred each time you're taking any official IP action because rules sometimes do get amended. At this moment, we would give you an idea to understand the basic concept of IPs. So the program is going to be introductory in nature, and in case there is any changes that will be available in the rules at IP India's website, you may visit it to know the latest rules at the timeline when you are about to take that IP action. We are again available at social media since its reach is really far enough. We have made ourselves available at Facebook and Twitter regarding our regular activities and future endeavors are being made available here. You may get associated through these social media handles. Now let me give you a overview of our official structure. We are coming under Ministry of Commerce and Industry where there is a hello. Just okay, so we are coming under Ministry of Commerce and Industry, wherein there is a department for promotion of industry and internal trade. This department is having an Office of Controller General of Patents, Designs, Trademarks and GIs, which is looking after the proper functioning of each type of IP. So to be specific, patents and designs offices are located at 4 locations in our country, that is at Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai and Kolkata, wherein these offices are jurisdiction based offices. You have to file your patents and designs application in the office available in your jurisdiction. Now these jurisdictions are basically as per the geographical location of our country. We have divided it into east, west, north, south, and accordingly we have placed one particular office for patents and designs in each zone. Moving ahead, we are having PIS, that is Patent Information System. This was established to meet the requirement of public who were seeking specific information regarding their invention. You must be aware that before this digital and virtual platform has come into existence, wherein nowadays it is easy to have access to information virtually. But before this virtual platform was not that famous, then you were supposed to go through a lot of materials like books, articles, journals, repositories, etc., to compile the data in the format you wanted. Today, you find various people writing blogs and giving information, writing article to simplify a task, etc. But back then, the way you want the information, you were supposed to jot it down according to your understanding after reading and after going through a lot of material. So it was a tedious task. In case you want to go for a patent filing, you were supposed to be sure that your invention is novel or at least inventive in nature based on the prior art available. So extracting prior art was a difficult task that time. PIS was providing paid service to such people. Today, all the data are freely available at digital platforms and people can have access to most of the information very easily. But it is at the same time, it was seen that too much of information is available, still people are not able to grab the exact meaning of what concept would be coming under which particular type of IP. We've heard people saying, I've written a book that needs to be patented. I have logo for my business. Can I get it registered under designs? So these are the wrong ways of understanding concepts. And of course, if you understand it wrongly, you're going to file it wrongly only, and it will eventually get rejected. To simplify this, RGNIIPM was established. This stands for Rajiv Gandhi National Institute of Intellectual Property Management. This office is actually dedicated towards teaching basic concepts of IPs, various issues, various topics, various concerns are being taken over here, and expert faculties from various fields are being invited to deliver these lectures. So we are into exhaustive training. This again office is located at Nagpur. Moving ahead, we are having trademarks. These offices are located at 5 locations in our country, that is Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai and Kolkata and Ahmedabad. The last type of IP coming under the office of CJPTTM is GI, that is Geographical Indications. So this GI office is only located at Chennai in our country. We do not have any other branch for GIs. Earlier at Chennai, we also used to have appellate board, which was a specialized board designed to have disputes, uh, to cater to the disputes related to IPs. But sometime back that has been abolished, so we do not have appellate board at Chennai anymore. And these are the pictorial views of our official buildings located at Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Kolkata. Apart from this, this is the building of RGNIIPM International Level Training Center at Nagpur. We conduct a lot of trainings, as previously said. We conducted right from 1 hour of free workshop to 2 weeks of advanced level certificate based training courses are being conducted by us. Any general public without having any, there's no age bar or educational bar or any such bar, anybody can have the training done. uh, the entire academic calendar used to come in the official website of ours, wherein we used to float what topics, what dates, what exactly in which manner it is to be conducted. But since this pandemic has hit, we have also shifted our attention towards virtual trainings, wherein we conduct virtual free workshop, virtual 1 week training program, and customized training programs also at RG and IIPM. This building is having a sitting capacity of 300 people to be trained at one go without any issues. We are having all technical support and all the facilities equipped here itself to have a good training experience. Now, we are again having various collaborations and associations with international bodies. I am really privileged to tell you that we are a part in summer school being conducted by WIPO. WIPO is an international body. This stands for World Intellectual Property Organization. This is physically situated at Geneva, Switzerland. They conduct a lot of trainings and they are exhaustively working towards, you know, benefit of IP structure and upgradation and implementation throughout the country. So they conduct summer schools with some of the countries, and we are fortunate to be one of them. We conduct WIPO summer school on an annual basis at RG and IIPM, wherein any individual, after meeting the basic requirement, can get the training done. Now, again, for the internal officers, we are having trainings being designed with the collaboration and association with international other IP officers to keep our internal officers upgraded and up to date regarding various concepts of IPs. Hello, बोलते माझं चालू आहे. So you may visit our website to know what are the trainings we are going to conduct, and in case you're interested, you may register and send the uh, filled in registration form to RG and IIPM's website email ID. Now this is our official website ipindia.gov.in, wherein we keep information related to patents, designs, trademarks, GIs, RG and IPM, etc. All the IPs are quasi-judicial in nature, that is, they are having partial judicial factor in it. These all because they are being governed by acts and rules designed by Government of India, passed through the Parliament. So sometimes interpreting acts become difficult for a normal person, and that is why we have made manuals and guidelines for easy understanding of the concepts. So the acts, rules, guidelines, manuals are available at IP India. We have also provided search platforms wherein you can search the different types of IPs therein to conclude its patentability and its accessibility as per the IP rules and act. We have provided um, uh, virtual copy of forms for each type of IP at IP India. We've also provided the fees applicable for each type of application in case you want to go for physical filing or online filing. What would be the fees as per your category? Everything is elaborately made available at IP India. Apart from this, we have again started virtual or you may say e-filing facility. So comprehensive e-filing has been provided at IP India. All the questions which were being asked on a repetitive basis have been compiled together and answered and provided at frequently asked section, question section. Now, apart from this, basically what I want to tell you is that this particular website is having all the concerns addressed here itself regarding each type of IPs. So whenever you get stuck somewhere, you may visit IP India and you would get answer to each and every query of yours. Now coming back to our topic, we are here to discuss intellectual properties. For that, the meaning of property has to be clear, which is clear to most of us, that it is all about tangible stuffs, tangible assets. Like tangible are things which can be touched, felt, and measured. So it can be again classified into movable or immovable properties based on their location specificness. Again, we in recent times we have seen that there are certain things which are really valuable in nature. You cannot touch and feel them because they are being provided by a brain which is having a capability to think and provide solutions to problems surviving around us. Now, these solutions are, of course, going to be valuable. Nowadays, it is all about an idea which can change the entire story based on the conditioning done on the brain, based on the knowledge known to the brain, and based on the experiences it has come across. The brain is having a beautiful capability to think and provide solutions. So initially, you would see that these are intangible in nature. Ideas and expressions cannot be touched and felt, but gradually, when you give it a proper direction, because they are raw in nature initially, and they need proper, conditioning and proper, in a proper way, you are supposed to work towards it so that you can bring it in any form of IP based on their characteristics and properties. So there are different types of intellectual properties like patents, designs, trademarks, GIs, copyrights, etc. Now, some of them are also being called as industrial properties, all because of their capability to be made or sold through the industry. Basically, they are having great industrial influence. Now, in case you're wondering where copyright information is available, copyright's website is copyright.gov.in. To summarize, IP means any creative ideas and expressions which is coming out of a human brain that is having a capability to bring out some commercial value. To protect your commercial value, IPs are being granted. So the major idea behind giving a recognition for IPs is to help you protect your commercial gain so that others do not infringe, do not copy as such, and start commercializing and earning out of it. Now, IP is a form of asset which can be bought, sold, licensed, mortgaged, etc., like any other form of property. Now, properties do come up with certain rights, and so is intellectual property. They give you exclusive rights. Exclusivity is all regarding all the decisions and the fate regarding the IP could be done by you in case you have got protected. So herein, you decide the fate of the invention. You decide where do you want to commercialize it, in which manner do you want to commercialize it, etc. So exclusivity is being given, and that is why they are sometimes being referred as negative rights or monopoly rights, because you stop others from making and selling it, from utilizing the rights, and that is why they have been called so. Here, I would like to add that these are territorial in nature. The country where you file for it, it will be valid only in that country. So you have to be judicious enough in selecting the countries where your potential market lies and where you want to earn more. Where exactly do you think you'll be able to earn more and you may get it protected there. These are licensable rights. There are various benefits of giving license, getting license, various conditions are there in which you may choose to give a license or get a license, etc. And various ways of licensing are also there. So these are licensable rights also. There are n number of significances. I would like to highlight a few of them regarding intellectual property. First and foremost thing is that it will help you avoid duplication of research. Now, once a benchmark is being set, nobody is allowed to file the same concept under patents. And in case you want to come up with patent regarding, you want to get your invention patented, you'll of course have to do some or the other improvement in the benchmark being provided. You would have seen, in case you do not get it protected in the right way, you would see in the public domain that there are some similar works prevailing. That is all because of out of innocence or out of not knowing what is happening around. This would have happened, but when you want a proper protection, you should be filing a patent for the same. Now, when you do so, you would witness that there are a lot of resources involved in coming up with research, quality research, and getting it patented. In case you by chance or by any way you do duplication of research, you are wasting a lot of resources which actually could have saved and been directed in some creating something which is not available. So once a patent has been filed, after that nobody is allowed to go for the filing of same concept, and that is why it encourages people to not to go for duplication but come up with improvements at least in the same concept. Now this will give a lot of encouragement to people involved in various sectors to come up with improvements, and this serves as an indicator of achievement when you bring a betterment in the known concept. You would have witnessed that a lot of changes are happening and new technologies, new facilities, new uniqueness is being added in products or processes being made available to us. That is all because somebody has done something and over that people have brought betterment. That is why you are not using the telephone being developed by Alexander Graham Bell, rather you are using the smartest version of it. So eventually public gets to enjoy better and cheaper products. Whenever somebody goes for a patent filing, their specification, that is as to how the problem was being solved, comes into the public domain over a period of time. So you may utilize the published patent specification to understand the concept, to get inspired from the knowledge being presented. It adds to the ocean of scientific and technical knowledge available to the entire public domain, which can be utilized for betterment purpose. Every patent is having a specific term, it gets expired after the term, and it may also get seized because of certain reasons. So, in either of the case, the invention would be transferred as a public property where anybody can use it without the permission of the applicant. There are various rewards also, which would be given when the grant of the intellectual property is done. So exclusivity is one such thing which will give you the right to use it, exercise it, sell it, share it the way you want it. And monetary benefit in the form of profits or royalties are of course into picture when you put the invention into practice. Now we'll have a look at each type of IP in short. We'll begin with patents. So patents is basically all about exclusive privilege or right given by Government of India to the patentee, the one who files for it. This is given for a period of 20 years from the date of filing, and this is given for commercial gain in consideration of full disclosure of the invention to decide the patentability in an efficient manner by the patent office. This is required. As previously said, this is a territorial right, not a worldwide or a global right. Here you have to remember that the product has to be novel in nature, and when we say novel, we mean newness is to be there in the concept, which simply means that it should not be a part of prior knowledge. Technically, we call it as prior art. Prior art means anything and everything known to the general public before the date of filing of complete specification. Now, this information could be available in public, presented, or in any otherwise disclosed manner. If not new, at least the concept has to be inventive in nature, wherein the existing knowledge is being technically made advanced or economic significance is being added, or both at the same time. Now, again, we have to remember that there is a difference between invention and discovery. Discovery is all about things which are existing, though not known to mankind, but their properties and characteristics sorry are existing and prevailing, I would say. So, since there is no human intervention, no technical effect on the part of mankind is there, then we call it as discovery. We just come across it by chance or with a deliberate act is called as discovery. On the other hand, invention is all about products or processes which are either new or at least inventive in nature, that is, betterment over the existing knowledge, and at the same time, it should be capable of industrial applicability. Now, you carry out research or project, you basically try to identify some problem in the background art, you try to solve the problem. If the solution to the problem is fitting into the definition of inventions, which I just said, you may apply a patent for the same. So I would like to quote few examples from our day-to-day life, which are the inventions which you are using in your day-to-day life, so that you become comfortable with the term patents. We'll begin with paperclip, which is an integral part of his desk. This is simple example. This is nothing but a simple wire twisted and turned in such a manner that it can hold papers together. This was being invented by Johan Waller in the year 1900 at Norway. The problem to hold papers was to pierce the entire bunch of papers and tie it with thread. During the process or while keeping the papers in such a manner, there was a huge chances of ruining the papers, which you of course would not wish to do so. So paperclip was invented. Zipper is again a great invention which was being uh, invented to have a secure fastening means. Earlier we had buttons, buckles, belts and straps as fastening means, and zipper has brought a revolution in clothing industry, in baggage industry and related industries also. Adhesive tape is another example which you grab each time you have to fix something at its place or fix its location at a particular place or to get something rectified. So this is again example of adhesive tape. Ballpoint pen. Earlier, we didn't know the method of writing wherein our ancestors were dipping quail in ink and writing was the concept. But that was a very tedious task. You cannot have that method of writing in today's virtual world. Slowly and gradually, we were being provided with ink pen, fountain pen, gel pen, etc. But ballpoint pen is the most efficient and most convenient method of writing. There are various benefits of using a ballpoint pen. If I have to talk about the invention, it is having a tiny ball at the end of the tip which rotates, which is being fixed in a very convenient manner where it is neither too tight nor too loose. It does its job very smoothly. It brings forward the ink present at the back of the ball and helps you in writing the way you rotate your hand. Then the next thing is that they have provided the ink in a very secure manner. It avoids spillage of ink also. So a very good invention which we are using in day-to-day life. Now this was all about simple examples. I am now going to quote an example wherein combination of various patents and designs were being placed. I am very much sure you would have seen this car. This was into limelight all because of its cost. This is the cheapest car in the world yet, being produced by Tata Company when they have launched their Nano car. It was into talk that time all because of its lowest cost. The company has, of course, brought down the cost by by reducing most of the luxuries from the car. But at the end of the day, they have required 31 designs and 37 technology patents to assemble it and launch into the market. I would suggest that you do not publish or use or disclose your invention into the public domain before you go for patent filing. This isn't allowed. And again, you have to be sure about the completion of the invention and then go for patent filing. Because once the application is being filed, after that, adding information regarding the invention is not allowed beyond a certain limit. Moving ahead, we are having designs as another type of IP. This is all about features of shape, configuration, pattern, ornamentation, composition of lines, colors, combinations, etc., which can be applied on an article. Now, this can be applied either in 2D or 3D format or in both the forms. The design is all about the appealing factor which you add to the article, which attracts the customers, all because it is appealing to eye. So the beautifying aspect is only being considered wherein the functional and technical features do not play a picture in design registration. In case you're wondering why design is also a type of IP, then let me tell you that when the market analysis was done, it was seen that around up to 70% factor behind the sale of an article could be designs. You may do this test by yourself also. When you go to the market, you fix your budget, you fix the feature which you want in that budget, and then the last deciding factor is always the looks. All of us are wearing watch, but I'm sure that all of you are wearing different watches. Even if they belong to same company, the design is varying. Then, if the purpose of watch was just to show us time, then why did we all purchase different watches? So this is the answer to why design is a type of IP. The term of protection for designs is 10 years initially, and you may get it extended for 5 more years. So maximum period of protection could be 15 years. Trademark or brand name is another type of IP, which will help you indicate the source of good, to advertise it, to help people distinguish your product from rest of the products available in the market, to identify between the original and fake version of the product, etc. You are supposed to give a visual symbol, which may be any word, name, symbol, brand, numerical, combination of colors, etc. Now, in case you find R encircled in front of any mark, that means the mark is registered. And in case you do not find R encircled, rather you find TM, that means trademark application has been filed with the trademark office and it is pending for its proceeding. So once granted, it is valid for a period of 10 years, and after that you may get it renewed for every 10 years. Geographical indications, as the name suggests, geography becoming indication for any product which is becoming famous with respect to its originality, quality, reputation, or any other unique characteristics. So, products like Darjeeling tea, Kanjivaram silk sari, Kolhapuri chappal, Pashmina silk, Banarsi sari, Tirupati laddu, all are famous all because of their, along with the name of the place from where it is famous. So either they are the products made at a location or grown at a location. Darjeeling tea, for example, tea is grown at various locations in our country, but Darjeeling tea is having unique taste, flavor, aroma, etc. So that is all been contributed by the soil condition, climatic condition, or the environmental condition of the location. Similarly, certain products are made at a location like Kanjivaram silk sari, Paithini sari, Banarsi sari, etc. So these are famous all because of the skilled artisans residing over there who has acquired knowledge generation over generation, and they know the finest details. They provide unique characteristics to the article. So this is not a individual right. Just because you reside at Kanjivaram does not mean you may get Kanjivaram silk sari registered under GI under your name. Rather, it is an organization based right. People involved in making or growing of the article are supposed to form an organization and file the application for GI under the organization's name. Like trademarks, this is also registered for a period of 10 years at the initial registration. After the initial registration, after that you may get it renewed for every 10 years. Copyright is all about artistic work, aesthetic creation, and cinematographic work like movies, music, painting, software, books, etc., wherein the original expression holder stops unauthorized copying and reproduction. So this right is given to the author till the life of the author plus 60 years post that also. There is a relationship between various IPs. Let's understand this with the famous bottle of Coca-Cola. If you have tasted it, you would agree that the formulation of Coke is a trade secret. They were successful in keeping the formulation secret to them, and that became their trade secret. The logo Coca-Cola is being registered under trademarks, and that is why it is not. It is really unique, and every time they reflect the same logo everywhere, and nobody can copy it. Shape of the bottle is also covered under industrial design. It matters a lot in the sale again. You can identify the Coca-Cola bottle just by looking at the shape of the bottle also. So this is being registered under industrial designs. They would have obtained patents for the bottling equipments they are having, and all the artistic work, text, database which you see on their cartons, on the product, or on their website is coming under the purview of copyrights. So for better protection, they have got more than one IPs are being involved in giving a better protection. Let's have a look at patent filing procedure in India. There are four categories which can file a patent application, either a natural person or individual, which is nothing but rest of the categories are not natural. So individuals or in groups they can file in individual or natural person category. Legal entity is all about established companies, universities, institutes, R&D centers, etc. Small entities are the companies which are getting recognition as to small, micro, or medium enterprises by MSME Act, which is all about their manufacture or production of goods. Based on that, they have been given segregated under various categories. In case you are having a startup recognition from the concerned department, you may also file under startups. So, as previously said, the offices of patents and designs have been distributed as per the jurisdiction. So, people residing in those zones have to file application in the office available in their zone itself. For patent application, the initial ordinary application can be filed with complete specification along with the claims. That is what exactly you have done, for which thing you want protection, and you do not want others to copy would be listed under claims. But in case your application is yet to get completed, you may file provisional specification, wherein office will give you a timeline of 12 months to complete your provisional specification to complete specification. Otherwise, if you fail to do so, the application would be treated as abandoned. Now, like any other project report, this is the patent specification is also very much similar, wherein you have to include title, aims and objective, technical field, background art, that is, what was the problem in the prior knowledge and what led you to this invention, then materials and methods, experimental procedure, result, analysis. You may take help of drawings, abstract and summary to explain it more. Most importantly, you have closing statements here, which is nothing but claims. As previously said, all the unique features added by you in the invention, which you do not want people to copy, would be listed under claims. And you have to justify the industrial applicability of the invention. Now we are having 30 forms in our patent office, but I've listed few of them which are minimal documental requirement for patent filing. Of course, application form, which is form number 1, is required, which will require you to fill up basic bibliographic data like name of the applicant, inventors, declarations, title, address of correspondence, email ID, etc. Your provisional or complete specification would be on form number 2. Whenever you go for foreign filing, and even if you do not go for it, the statement is to be submitted on form number 3. All the inventors are to be declared on form number 5, and request for examination is to be made on form number 18. This form number 18 can be filed anytime between 0 to 48 months of filing of form number 1. There are certain optional forms also which may be of your concern. In the patent application evaluation process, there is a publication stage which takes 18 months timeline. You may request for early publication by filing form number 9 to save the 18 months time. In case you are hiring an attorney, then power of attorney is to be given to the registered patent agent on form number 26. Okay, so basic online filing fee is 1600 for a natural person, startups or MSMEs, and 88,000 rupees for others category. This is for form number 1. Form number 2 is IP free of cost in case you file your form number 2 within 30 pages, and within those 30 pages, if maximum 10 claims are allowed. But the moment you exceed 30 pages and 10 claims, it is chargeable as per the category. So, herein you have to remember that this is about online filing fees. Whenever you shift to hard copy filing, approximately additional 10% fees over the basic online filing fees would be charged. Form number 18 is about form number 18 is all about form number 18 is about examination form, wherein, as previously said, natural person startups or MSMEs would be costing 4,000 rupees, and if you fall into others category, this will charge you 20,000 rupees. Again, hard copy filing would be, as previously said, approximately additional 10% fees over the online filing fees. Here we have also started expedite examination form is also being started by us. Expedite examination. So in place of this form number 18, you may utilize expedite examination, that is quick examination. The fees is 60,000 for others category, and for rest it is 8,000 rupees. Herein you have to remember that uh, it is 8,000 rupees for startups, MSMEs, and natural person category, and for others it is 60,000 rupees. This facility is not a mandatory condition, but then people falling under certain categories are allowed to utilize this form, wherein if the applicant is startup or a government organization or one of the applicants is female, you may utilize this form. International application coming through PCT route of entry and assigning India as ISA can again utilize this form. So this was about online filing fees. Then early publication, as I have said, this can be utilized to save 18 months timeline, wherein application would be ordinarily published within 1 month, but then you can utilize it anytime before the expiry of 18 months. 12,500 is the fees for others category, and for rest it is 2,500. For patent grant procedure, after the filing of patent application, the application would be digitalized, screened and classified, and it will be published after 18 months of timeline. You may utilize early publication also facility. After the publication, request for examination form would be considered, but it can be filed anytime within 48 months from the date of filing of form number 1. After this, it will be allotted to examiners from the particular field, examiner controller pair. Examination would be done on formal and technical aspect. First examination report would be generated. You may also expect second examination report or hearing. You also get chance to objections. Sufficient chances are given before deciding the grant or refusal. Now, publication of granted patent application does happen. Patent Office is having a provision for pre-grant opposition and post-grant opposition also. Now, filing can be done either physically or electronically. For physical filing, you have to fill in the application form, and you may go to the patent office counter by paying fees in the form of cash, DD, or e-payment. You may get the application filed. Now, you may also send your application by post. Herein, only Indian Postal Service is to be utilized. You may send it by post, registered post, or speed post along with the DD of fees applicable for your application. Comprehensive e-filing can be utilized. This has been started since the year 2007. We have launched various versions of comprehensive e-filing. You have to compile your data in appropriate form, that is PDF, JPG, etc. You require a banking facility, internet connectivity, a proper system, and most importantly, digital signatures. Now, this can be availed through various vendors available in the market. Patent Office accepts Class 2 or Class 3 digital signature. You have to do registration at IP India's website. That will help you create a login ID and password. You may select the forms, appropriate forms for utilizing for filing of your application. Once selected, filled in the details, you may save the draft, preview it. Afterwards, you may get the drafted form digitally signed to go for final submission. This will ask you to select the payment gateway, make online payment. Once the transaction details are been approved by the patent office, it will help you generate a e-receipt which can be printed and kept for further reference. Now, for design application, the application has to satisfy certain conditions. First of all, the design has to satisfy the definition of article That is any article of manufacture or any substance which is either artificial or partly natural, which includes any part of the article capable of being made or sold separately. Now, the importance of designs, as I previously also said, it gives you a fair return on the investment. Fair competition is being developed in the market when two or more companies are giving products at same products which is having same functionality and at equal prices. Design is the only feature which is going to fetch you the cost which you are quoting for that particular article. Design may produce technical effect. You would have seen that two-door fridge is giving more technical effect. Slowly and gradually we've seen that the cooling effect can be controlled at different doors also. So design technical effect may come. Now it has also given scope to various industrial designs and small businesses to come up with business strategies and to do good in the market. It has helped various small businesses, startups, etc., to apply industrial designs to earn out of it. Now, for filing, it is either you can go for physical filing and electronic filing could also be utilized, as previously said. You may do it as per your jurisdiction, but at the end, it will be directed to IPO Kolkata for its examination, registration, publication, and post registration. Hello. Now, any article has to, which is proposed for being to get protection under design, has to fall in some or the other class. We have classified articles and various things into 32 classes. So you have to identify under which class do you want protection based on the nature and function of the article. So the entire list will be available at IP India's website. You may go through it. As previously said, individual, natural persons, startups, or small entities is one category, and other is other than natural person and other than the above, I would say. For filing, the application fees is 1,000 rupees for natural persons, startups, and MSMEs, and 4,000 rupees for others category. Application form number one, which it requires you to fill the data like applicant's full name, nationality, address, class number, name of the article, etc. Now, if you are filing it physically, then two set of representation of the pictures, various views of the article, that is left view, right view, top view, bottom view, perspective view, etc. are to be submitted. If you are hiring an attorney, then power of attorney is to be submitted on form number 21. If it is been acquired from somebody else, assignment documents, and appropriate if individuality is to be justified, like if you belong to small entity, Indian or foreign, proper documentation is required on form number 24. So the form looks like this. Form number 1 for Design Act, that is the application for registration of designs. This is a specimen of representation sheet. Herein they have included the perspective view, wherein most of the features of the article is visible. You have to remember that you not produce bad quality or bad background wherein the image is not visible, or the background does not let the article be visible, etc. You have to produce a good quality images. Again, multiple designs in the same application is not allowed. Two different sets cannot be combined together, and sets, that is, if you take example of gloves, you get a pair of gloves would have a glove for right hand and left hand individually. If you come up with both the gloves of right hand only, it is of no use. So variations are not allowed. You cannot depict any living or dead person also as a design. Some of the things are being made exception for design registration, like trademarkable stuff or copyrightable stuff are not being allowed. At the same time, certain patterns, maps, postcards, stamps, medals, etc., calendars, etc., are not allowed for design registration. For the examination, again, like patents, examiner controller pair is being assigned to application, where the criteria for design registration are the definition of article, definition of design is to be satisfied. It has to be original, there has to be novelty in it. It shouldn't be obscene or scandalous in nature. Morality aspect is to be justified, and it should also suit to the security of our country. After all this check is done, the application is evaluated as previously said regarding patent application. It also goes through the same procedure wherein sufficient chances are being given for the before the grant or refusal of the article. So this is all about patents and design processes, the basics of IPs, etc. In case you are having any doubts in the topic being taken, please ask.
Uh, okay, this session was an extremely informative on the patent design process on intellectually property rights. So, ma'am, there is some questions we have enabled chat box. There is some question like Pritesh Sanjeevni Sharma asking how IPR provides a patent's attorney or claim on it.
Um,
How IPR provides a patent's attorney or claim on it.
how IPR? The question is not clear to me. Can I read the question? Where exactly is the question?
Yes, ma'am. This question
How
in
it
chat box.
provides a patent's attorney or claim on it. See, claims are different, entirely different. In case patent attorney or claims on it, I do not get the question, but whatever I'm able to understand, I would like to answer to it, Sanjeevni ma'am. See, it is in case you are wondering in which manner the patent attorney would be able to have a claim on it. Of course, the patent attorney does not have any claim on it. He is going to represent your application based on the terms and conditions you have signed between the attorney and yourself. And regarding the claims is all about whatever um, uniqueness you have added to the invention that can be claimed by you to the patent office, wherein it will allow you, as per the prior art information, whatever newness you have added, that only feature will be registered. Actually, I was seeking more clarity in the question. No issues. I hope I have answered to the question.
Very, ma'am. Next question is Pritesh Parihar. If I have taken the patent name, then after sometimes can I change the patent name?
Why do you have to change the patent name? It is not a fancy name you are giving. You are just trying to protect your invention. To display what the invention is, you are giving a name to the application. That's it. So you just
Patent name, then after sometimes can I change the patent name?
why do you have to change the patent name? It is not a fancy name you are giving. You are just trying to protect your invention. To display what the invention is, you are giving a name to the application. That's it. So you just have to display what exactly is the invention. So for example, if I get a pen, I have done an invention related to the pen, so I'll write pen having so and so characteristics. That's it. There's nothing fancy about the name, sir. If you are wondering whether it is all about designs, trademarks, then of course you'll have to change it. You'll have to file another application. Entirely new application is to be filed.
Ma'am, one more question is there. Is research grant easier if I patent idea?
Research grant easier if I patent the idea. Ideas are not patentable as such. You have to put down your entire concept. Completed invention is to be filed as a patent application, first thing. Secondly, research grant is something different. This is different. We work individually. We try to find out as per the prior knowledge whether it is patentable or not. They are trying to file according to their knowledge. So we are not interlinked as such. But of course, if the patent is being granted, it of course means that it was novel and inventive, and that may have an influence on the grant of the research paper also. Next question is, what is the relationship between trademark application and radical innovation? I did not understand what is radical innovation. In case you are able to put more light on it, that will be really better. Um oh, radical innovation is about inventions that destroy or the existing business model. Acha. See, in case that is so, then all the inventions are of that manner only. Once if the improvement earlier to this also, I can see certain questions to file patent through patent attorney. Is there any alternative way? Of course, you can file it on your own. It is not a mandatory condition that you have to hire a patent agent. It isn't so. Individuals can also file their application on their own. By acquiring the basic knowledge, you may go for filing of the application. In case you want to have a attorney, that is possible to be. Can I get an intellectual property right just from the result of a research? Of course, if it fits into the definition of inventions, you may very well go for patent filing. What is the difference between copyright and trademark protection? You shouldn't be asking this question. Copyrights. हेलो चल रहा है सर जी okay, I hope I have answered most of the questions available. Is there any other question?
our patent and design process. And I would like to thank all the respected participants for their presence. I would like to thank Mr. Viren Dani sir for his support. And also I would like to thank our HOD Dr. Rashmi Yadav ma'am for giving us opportunity to organize the expert talk. And I also wish to express my gratitude to our director and principal Dr. Sanjay Purkar and entire management of our college. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.